Yeah.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dave Janda. Welcome back to our ongoing series on your health and your well-being here on the Operation Freedom platform. This is about the 18th or 19th segment that Dr. Peter Glidden and I have done on providing you information that the bought-off lamestream fake media, which is controlled by the big pharmaceutical industry, big insurance, and big medicine such as the AMA, information they will never provide you how to empower you with your nutritional health and well-being. It's my honor to have back with me someone I consider a very dear friend and someone who I believe is the top nutritional specialist and the top naturopathic physician in the world, Dr. Peter Glidden. He graduated from the Great Bastyr University in Seattle, Washington. He's been in private practice since 1992 of naturopathic medicine. He's licensed to do so. In addition to his outstanding clinical skills, he is also a fantastic author. I encourage you to get his books. They're available on Amazon. They're the foundation of our library. Everybody is sick, and I know why. An attempt to cure with holistic medicine. It's my honor to welcome back Dr. Peter Glidden. Peter, welcome back to the Operation Freedom platform, where we're the home of Operation Freedom Health as well.
Thanks a lot, Dave. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Etc. Etc.
And the topic we're going to discuss today, much to the chagrin of Big Pharma, is the nutritional approach for heart health.
So it's an interesting subject, and like Sherlock Holmes or Arthur Conan Doyle said, the best place to hide something is in plain sight. If you look at the statistics for heart disease, I mean it's unbelievable, and I'm taking this off of the Center for Disease Control website. Heart disease and stroke statistics 2019. This is an update from the American Heart Association. According to them, 46% of United States adults, that's like half of the population, have hypertension. They have high blood pressure, 46%. And on the average, you're sitting down, somebody dies of cardiovascular disease, some type of heart disease. Somebody dies of heart disease every 38 seconds. Every 38 seconds. That's 2,303 per day. People die because of some related heart illness, and on the average, somebody dies from a stroke every 3.5 minutes. This is nuts. And right, all this is going on inside of a culture that we have been taught and told and, propagandized delivers the best medical care that money can buy, and that the medicine delivered by the United States is the best medicine in the world. And if that is true, then what the hell is going on with heart disease? Right? Mm-hmm. The conventional medical doctors are good at keeping people alive after they've had a heart attack or 2 or 3, but they have no idea what causes heart disease, have no idea how to cure heart disease. Mm-hmm. And while they have been in charge exclusively, right, of the development and delivery of medicine, we've got these unbelievably horrible results.
True.
It's a race to the bottom. Right? It's like we're all getting used to the fact that, everybody's overweight. Well, that's just human. That's human existence. That's the way that life is. That's just the way that it is. Just have to wrap your head around. Everybody gets heart disease. That's just life. Everybody gets high blood pressure. Your heart's going to give out. That's just life. No, it's not. That's not our experience of it in the naturopathic community at all. Mm-hmm. From our point of view, people get high blood pressure not because they have a heart, not because they have a circulatory system, and not because they're getting older. You don't get an enlarged heart or a funky heartbeat or a bad heart valve or congestive heart failure or clogged arteries in your heart because you have a body. And it's not from chemtrails. Chemtrails are real, mm-hmm. but they don't cause these things. It's not from cell phone radiation. That's not what causes this. And this is not genetic, and it's not a normal human condition. It's a pathology, which is everywhere all the time now because conventional medicine doesn't have a clue or a care or a concern as to what causes these illnesses, nor what to do to attempt to cure them. and it's a crap show, quite frankly, and it's a big bad voodoo daddy, and there should be, unrest, national unrest. If you have somebody in your family that's died of a heart condition, you should blame conventional medicine because it happened while your loved one was under the care and the watch of a conventionally trained medical doctor. And, it's got to be somebody's fault. We have to hold somebody's feet to the fire. But that's just not the way that it goes in the 21st century. It's politically incorrect to place blame anywhere.
So, Peter, what are the components that people need to bring on board nutritionally for their heart health?
Well, it's real. It's the same. It's the same for heart health as it is for joint health, for liver health, for skin health, for mood health, for blood sugar health, right? Mm-hmm. The basic supposition here that we stand up on the mountaintop and wave this flag all the time. Your body knows how to fix itself. Your body wants to fix itself. Your body's trying to fix itself all the time, but it needs raw materials to do that. And you can't just do whatever you want and expect your body to adapt and to change and to be healthy, right? I mean, if you never, ever, ever, ever change the oil in your car, well, it's probably not a good idea. If every time you fill it up, you put 10 gallons of diesel and 10 gallons of unleaded, well, it's probably not a good idea. If you never change the transmission fluid or the power steering fluid or the air filters or the oil filters, probably not a good idea. We take care of our cars more than we take care of the body, not because we're bad people or we have ill intent. It's just because we don't know any better. Nobody's ever taught us this. Nobody's ever outlined it like this. And so, in order to have a healthy heart, you need to stop eating foods that are hurting the heart, number one. And, we've identified 12 foods. It's our famous 12 bad foods list. And specifically relative to cardiovascular health, the two of the foods that are in the 12 bad food list stand out in boldface. That would be fried food and oil in a bottle. Fried food and oil in a bottle, from our point of view, are one of the major drivers of clogged arteries and a heart that just isn't up to snuff. Fried food contains a chemical called acrylamide. Acrylamide is pro-inflammatory and carcinogenic. It's not good. Makes arteries clogged. Oxidized oil in an olive oil bottle or a vegetable oil bottle, or you put it on a fry pan and you heat it up. It delivers inflammatory agents to the human body, and we are of the opinion it's that stuff that clogs the arteries. So you have to stop putting fuel inside your engine that's hurting the engine. That's just common sense. So stop eating the 12 bad foods.
And that list in the video, your video, is available on OperationFreedomHealth.com. There's a section right at the top, videos. It's right there. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
And it's free.
And it's free.
Good.
Right.
Free's good.
And all of our videos are available there, as well as DaveJanda.com. But OperationFreedomHealth.com, all this is available. The videos, the information, that's all free.
And this is kind of an important point, and we need to really ring our own bells here, because this information is really, really important. And we need people in the listening audience to spread this message. And that's why we're putting up so much free stuff, because it's important. It's important that people understand this, and nobody does. And it more's the pity, for goodness sake. My people are destroyed by lack of knowledge. So, right, number one, you want to have a healthy heart? Well, stop eating food that hurts the heart. That's kind of a no-brainer.
No-brainer.
Number two, you have to provide your body with the raw materials that it needs to work the way that nature and God intended it to. Those nutrients are not all available in the food. Some of them are, many of them are not. So you have to supplement. You have to give your body the raw materials. 31 years of clinical work, I'm here to tell you that the best way to do that, in my opinion, is with the Healthy Foundation Pack that's available at OperationFreedomHealth.com. It's a combination of 3 nutritional supplements that give your body all 90 essential nutrients in bioavailable forms. It's like feeding the body the stuff that it needs to maintain its health and to fix itself when things go bad. And, because everybody who comes to us in their 40s or their 50s or their 60s or their 70s. We've got cleanup to do here.
Right.
There's cleanup to do. So you want to have a healthy heart, the foundation pack isn't going to cut it. The foundation pack is going to take you 3/4 of the way there, but you've got a lot of cleanup to do, right?
True.
So we've added 2 specific things to the foundation pack that's available now. We're calling it the Healthy Foundation Heart Pack.
Also available on OperationFreedomHealth.com. And full disclosure, purchase of the products through OperationFreedomHealth.com does support this platform so that we can continue our efforts with Operation Freedom. Go ahead, Peter.
And the proof of the pudding is in the eating, right? I mean, the reason that our message is catching on and that more and more people are signing on to this, and quite frankly, that my profession, the naturopathic medical profession, it even exists, continues to exist in such a hostile political climate, is because we get results.
Right. So with the foundation pack, you say there are 2 other elements. What are they that are added?
So there's a bottle of selenium, the trace mineral selenium, which is in combination with some other things. It's not just selenium all by itself. It's got copper in there, and there's some other antioxidant nutrients. Selenium, this is really interesting. Now, in pre-World War II Germany, remember, the Nazis, right?
Yeah.
Hitler was all about the superiority of the Aryan race,
right.
And they're the best models of human biology that the world has ever seen, and they were big. Pre-World War II Germany was big into the culture of athletics. They were big into it, and one of the things that they discovered was their athletes who were training, like 7 days a week, 10 hours a day, right? Uber athletes. Many of them developed enlarged hearts, right? And now it's termed cardiomyopathy, right? Right? It's fancy schmancy doctor talk for an enlarged heart. Well, the Germans figured this out in the 1930s, that their athletes were getting enlarged hearts, not because they were exercising, but because they were exercising in the absence of selenium.
Wow.
When you put a big stress on the heart, because you're working out all the time and you're running 15 miles a day and doing 3,000 push-ups, whatever, right? You're putting stress on the cardiovascular system. Well, when that happens, the heart needs selenium in order to handle that stress. It's like if you step on the gas in your car and you're going 150 miles an hour, there better be 4 quarts of oil in the engine so the engine doesn't overheat, right? So if you don't have selenium, your heart's going to enlarge. It just does. So the first thing to consider with any type of cardiomyopathy, or one part of the heart gets bigger than the rest, or the whole heart gets bigger than it should be, is it's a simple selenium deficiency. And selenium, being a trace mineral, is not found in the food, because selenium only gets in the food if there's selenium in the soil that the food is grown in. And that's a crapshoot. You're going to roll those dice, you're probably going to lose.
Right.
So it's really a good idea for everybody to take a little extra selenium, extra than the selenium that's in the foundation pack already. So that's why we've added that. Number 1. Now, number 2, and I got to tell you, Dave, I'm a big fan and cheerleader of the longevity brand of nutritional supplements, and rightly so, because of the results that I've seen it. Now, inside the longevity brand of nutritional supplements, there's a sub company called Good Herbs, right? And I could talk for 1 hour off the top of my head about all of the benefits of the Good Herbs products and the quality control and why the Good Herbs products are so remarkably effective. These are the most effective, well put together, smart, sophisticated, from A to Z botanical medical supplements I've ever seen. And, this is kind of what my profession does, right?
Mm-hmm,
We're like the gatekeepers for especially the botanical medicine industry. And I have access to hundreds of companies that make this stuff. I'm here to tell you that nobody does it better than the Good Herbs people. So the Good Herbs people, in their wisdom, formulated a product called the Good Herbs Heart Support.
mm-hmm.
And inside the Good Herbs Heart Support, there's 4 components, 4 botanical medicine components: Blessed Thistle, Motherwort, Hawthorn, and Cayenne. Blessed Thistle acts as a diuretic. It helps the body to get rid of excess water if excess water is building up somewhere. And one of the first things that happens if your heart starts to become a little compromised is water will start to build up in your system because the heart's compromised. Blessed Thistle helps that to be remedied. Motherwort, fantastic herb to help the heart regulate the heartbeat. Heart's a fascinating thing. It's the only muscle in the body that never rests. It's working all the time. Your heart's working all the time. And there are special needs that the heart has because it's working all of the time. Motherwort is like, motherwort to the heart is like putting on a nice down jacket when you go outside in the cold, right? It just really helps to deal with the stress of being cold. In this case, it helps the heart just deal with the stress of having to beat all the time. Cayenne pepper, it's cayenne in here. It's called capsicum. This is fascinating. And nobody knows how this works, but we know that it works. Cayenne pepper acts like a taxi cab inside the body, and it delivers the biochemical components of the other herbs directly to the heart. We don't know how that happens, but we know that it happens. So when you add capsicum to a botanical medicine formula that is specifically targeting the heart, you dramatically increase the efficiency of those herbs because they're delivered right to the front door. I mean, that's a great thing. But, or however, and the jewel in the crown of this particular nutritional supplement, the Good Herbs Heart Support, is a wonderful botanical medicine called hawthorn. Hawthorn has been proven with double-blinded, placebo-controlled clinical trials to be extremely effective at helping clogged arteries to unclog. And it's also extremely effective at dilating blood vessels and easing the stress on the blood vessels from a high blood pressure event. Again, like, walking on crutches if you have a broken ankle, that's a good idea. You probably don't want to jog, right, if you have a broken ankle. So if you've got compromised blood vessels, which most everybody does, I mean, look at the statistics, right? Half of the U.S. population's hypertensive, for goodness sakes. This is a really good idea because the hawthorn will assist the blood vessels in and around your heart to be a little bit healthier, a little bit healthier, a little bit healthier. And this is how we do it. We do it one day at a time. We do it one step at a time. This is a marathon. It's not a sprint. We give the body the stuff it needs to fix itself. We stop eating stuff that's going up the works. We keep our flipping fingers crossed and see how far back the body bounces. And I got to tell you, I mean, you're a perfect example. This is not a panacea cure-all for all human ills, but most people wouldn't believe the things we've seen patients recover from.
Well, as you mentioned, I have significant arthritis in my neck and spine and multiple joints, and for years you told me about, going on the 90 essential nutrients, and that it would have a huge benefit on my arthritis. And I fought you on it, Peter. And then I finally, once they decided they wanted to put me on a number of different anti-inflammatories after I had been on it, they kept adding and adding. And then they were talking about, spine fusion, cervical spine fusion, lumbosacral spine fusion. Rather than the surgeries, I finally decided to listen to my friend Peter. And lo and behold, within a month, I was off the anti-inflammatories, asymptomatic, doing things I hadn't done in an extended period of time. And that has continued for years now.
I mean, it's remarkable. You just give the body I mean, look, if you had 2 tomato plants, right, and you'd cloned them, so it's the same plant, right, in 2 different pots. In one pot you stuck in the greenhouse in a dark corner, and you watered it once a week. And the other pot you put in a nice sunlight, and you gave it water every day and made sure it had good fertilizer. Well, which one do you think is going to be healthier?
Yeah, right.
It's the one you're taking care of.
That one, that's right.
The problem in this culture is that nobody has taught anybody how to take care of the body.
That's right. Throughout my medical school training, I learned a tremendous amount of information. But when it came to the nutritional health and well-being of taking care of a patient, zip.
And the politics of this are the real nails in the coffin here, because, I mean, honestly, this may sound like an extreme thing to say and like a stretch, but it's not. The Food and Drug Administration, the people that run the FDA, are of the opinion that medical nutrition, botanical medicine, vitamins, minerals, amino acids, essential fatty acids have little or nothing to do with the overall health of the human body. It's drugs all the time. It's pharmaceuticals all the time. And, whatever, man. Thank God for insulin and Novocaine, right? Mm-hmm. It's not the drug, it's how it's used. It's not the gun, it's how it's used. Well, there's a room in the world for drugs. But there's a much bigger room in the world for medical nutrition, much bigger place for it. And by and large, it's an unknown commodity. And more's the pity there, this is why I'm so very grateful to you for allowing me to speak my mind and just tell the world what I've seen actually happen as a licensed naturopathic doctor. This is very important. Everybody needs to know this. Nobody does need to know it. And I hope that your listeners really take what we're saying to heart.
Well, Peter, when we become physicians, we take an oath to do no harm. And frankly, you and I both know it's harm not passing on this information. Period. And that is, and even though big pharma, big insurance, big medicine like the AMA do not want this passed on to people, it's harm for us not to.
Well, God bless you, Dave. Keep up the good work, man, and don't ever stop.
Well, I won't, Pete. And I want to touch on a couple things here quick, very before we get done. Folks that are on medications, let's say are on some cardiac medications and now are going to go on the foundation pack and with the heart supplements associated with it, educate them on how they should handle their medications. Obviously, they do it in conjunction with their cardiologist, with their internal medicine doctor, whatever. But how should they handle that with the current medications they're on?
Well, you just need to be mindful, right? So oftentimes when people are taking prescription meds, whatever they're for, and then they start a medical nutrition program, the chances are high that the meds that they're taking will have a stronger impact on their body, because the meds upregulate the biochemistry of your body, which is made out of nutrients. So when you finally start pouring the right nutrients into the body, the drugs work better. It's kind of like you got a little fire going and you open a window and now there's fresh air. The fire's going to get bigger, right? Wind fans the flames and they get bigger. So when there are nutrients in the body, all of a sudden, the drugs that you're taking will have a stronger, more pronounced effect. So you need to educate yourself about what the side effects of the drugs that you're taking are. And if you start to feel a little curious a couple weeks into the medical nutrition program, it's probably because the drugs are working stronger than they should have ought to. So number one, just need a little bit of education. It's not difficult. If you can pass the driver's license test, you can do a Google search and figure that out. Number two, most people who are on medications, right? They go to their doctor's office quarterly or semi-annually and they get another checkup. And if the blood pressure, you're on blood pressure meds and your blood pressure is too high, they're going to increase the meds. Well, guess what? If you're on blood pressure meds and your blood pressure comes down, right, which never happens unless you're doing a medical nutrition intervention, the doctor's going to decrease the meds.
Yeah, and that's what happened with my arthritis.
Yeah. And although this is kind of heresy in conventional medicine,
Yeah, it is.
the goal of everything that we do is to make people so healthy that they don't need the med.
Mm-hmm.
That's the goal here. And most conventionally trained medical doctors think that that's just the craziest thing they've ever heard, because, you know, how can you do that? Everybody needs drugs. Well, no, they don't. So all you have to do is be mindful, be aware, understand that if this program kicks in for you, that your body's going to start to work better, and therefore you will need less drugs. And you just need to work with your medical professional to handle that and deal with it. And if everybody's on the same page, it's easy breezy, lemon squeezy.
And the last issue, Peter, is dosing. What I tell people to do is start off with, for example, a half dose of what's recommended, see how you feel, and then every week or two, gradually increase the dose until you get up to the recommended dosage. Is that a fair recommendation for folks?
It's not only fair, it's really smart, because, I mean, the simple fact of the matter is that everybody's body's different. Some people are 350 pounds, some people are 150 pounds. Some people have 70% body fat, some people have 2% body fat, right? Different ages, different metabolic rates. Even your position on planet Earth, right? Mm-hmm. The latitude that you're living in will have an effect on your metabolism. So there's a great deal of variability here. And because, you know, we've lived inside of a pharmaceutical monopoly for over 100 years, the research necessary to be able to determine your dose of nutrients hasn't been done. So we can't tell you exactly what it is that you need. So we have to do in-house experimentation. Mm-hmm. And that's a really smart thing to do. So you start at a particular dose. It's always a good idea to start low. Take it for a week or two, see how you feel, and then up it. And then go up a little bit more. And if you work in this way, you'll be able to find your own sweet spot. And regretfully, because we're a little hamstrung now by, you know, the pharmaceutical powers that be, this is what we're left to. But it's not that difficult, and it's kind of a fun little experiment also, because you really get a firsthand experience of the marvelous effects of these nutrients.
Our videos are available on OperationFreedomHealth.com, including the ones about the 12 bad foods. The products, because one of the things that, you know, when you do the videos, people say, well, I want to know where to get the products. Well, that's why we have them there. OperationFreedomHealth.com. They're available for you on the site. Peter, I'd like to thank you for everything you have done, are doing, and will do. You're a beacon of truth and a fresh light when it comes to educating and empowering people for their nutritional and overall health and well-being, and I thank you.
My pleasure, Dave. Keep up the good work, and don't ever, ever, ever stop.
And I won't. And I wish you and your family and all of our listeners a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and a very happy and healthy, nutritionally based New Year. Thank you, Peter. Until next time, Dave Janda signing off, folks. Dream big and dare to fail. Thanks for your time today.